Amid growing Arab panic, Iran has further spooked the Gulf with new threats, including rhetoric about being able to wipe the UAE off the map, language that has sent shockwaves through regional capitals. After tit-for-tat attacks between Iran and the United States despite an official truce, Abu Dhabi now faces a major scare, as fresh missile and drone strikes underscore just how fragile the ceasefire really is. As a panicked Saudi leadership scrambles to pacify Iran and prevent the conflict from spilling further across the region, a new wave of threats is rocking the Middle East and raising fears of a broader Gulf-wide showdown. Amid fresh tensions during an already fragile ceasefire, Iran issued a new threat against the UAE, further heightening anxiety across the Gulf at a moment when the region is on edge. An Iranian religious figure warned that the UAE could be wiped off the face of the earth, according to reports, using apocalyptic language that drew strong condemnation from Emirati officials. If the UAE is behind the attack on Bandar Abbas, it can be wiped off the face of the earth, the Iranian eulogist declared, framing his threat as conditional but still chilling in its scope. These comments were made by Hossein Taheri, as reported by Iran International on May 8, adding a prominent clerical voice to the chorus of hardline rhetoric aimed at Abu Dhabi. The threat came just after Iran and the United States traded fire for the first time since the April truce, an exchange that underscored how quickly the ceasefire could unravel into open confrontation again. On May 8th, the United Arab Emirates came under new wave of attacks, according to the country's Ministry of Defense. Emirati authorities said air defense systems responded to an incoming missile threat during the latest incident. The UAE's Ministry of Defense reported that loud sounds heard across the country were caused by missiles and unmanned aerial vehicles engaged by air defenses. Officials said operations to intercept the missiles and drones were ongoing as the attack unfolded. This marks the third time in a week that the UAE has come under missile and drone attacks linked to the Iran war. On May 4th, a major blaze broke out at the UAE's Key Fujairah oil terminal after reported strikes on the facility. The UAE intercepted additional missiles and drones on May 5th, as Iranian attacks on Emirati territory continued. The latest barrage comes after the United States and Iran exchanged direct fire on May 7th, their first open clash since the ceasefire began in April. Tehran's army said US warships entered the Strait of Hormuz and launched strikes on Iranian territory around key coastal and island targets. Blasts were reported on Iran's Keshem Island, in Bandar Abbas and near Sirk, with multiple Iranian ships also said to have been attacked. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said it fired on US naval assets in response to those strikes. The United States said its forces carried out self-defense strikes after what it described as unprovoked Iranian attacks on US warships. Shortly after the coastal explosions, mystery blasts also rocked Tehran, with residents reporting loud detonations in the capital. Iranian media said air defense systems were activated over Tehran and engaged what authorities called hostile targets. A maritime base in Minab, along Iran's southern coast, was also struck during the overnight exchanges, according to Al Jazeera's reporting. Iran accused the United States of violating the ceasefire agreement, a charge that Trump administration officials have denied. The renewed hostilities erupted just as Iran was reviewing a US peace proposal. Amid a fresh spike in tensions, a hardline Iranian official revealed what he described as Iran's future strategy in the unfolding conflict. Mahdi Mohammadi, an advisor to Iranian Parliament Speaker Ghalibaf, also issued a warning directed at the United Arab Emirates. Mohammadi said Iran-UAE ties will not return to pre-war status, according to Iran International, suggesting that the damage to relations may be long-lasting. The claim came after Iran allegedly fired missiles and drones at the UAE amid renewed tension in the region. The alleged Iranian attack came after the US tried to break Iran's Hormuz blockade, escalating the confrontation further. However, just a day after launching Project Freedom, Trump halted the Hormuz mission, raising doubts about the American response. Mohammadi also said that time was the most effective weapon in the current conflict, framing delay and endurance as part of Iran's broader strategy. Mahdi Mohammadi argued that disrupting the enemy's timetable was a key objective, implying that slowing down opponents could matter as much as military force. Mahdi Mohammadi's comments were reported by Iran International on May 5, bringing the remarks into wider public view. Mahdi Mohammadi, advisor, Speaker of Iran's parliament, said, quote, "The most effective weapon in the current war is time. Taking the war out of the enemy's timing is the strongest weapon that must be employed. What you're seeing is Trump being thrown off balance because the scheduled time for the war for him is nearing its end. In the limited window ahead, the initiative lies with Iran, and the enemy's cards are on the wane." Unquote. Meanwhile, attention remains focused on Iran's attacks on Fujairah in the UAE and on multiple cargo ships, as regional tensions continue to build. The UAE president said the Israeli prime minister was among the leaders who called him to condemn Iran's attacks, showing how widely the incident has reverberated diplomatically. The UAE recently exited the oil cartel OPEC in order to increase its oil output and ease pressure on prices, marking a major shift in its energy strategy. Iran has firmly denied any involvement in the reported missile and drone attacks targeting the United Arab Emirates on May 4. An Iranian military official stated that Tehran did not strike the UAE or its oil tanker operating near the Fujairah port. Instead, the official alleged that the incident was part of a false flag operation carried out by US forces in the region. The attack reportedly caused a major fire at a UAE energy facility and left 3 Indian nationals injured. Iranian sources claimed that the United States was responsible for the incident, according to reports carried by IRIB. The official also asserted that there was no pre-planned Iranian operation targeting UAE oil infrastructure. Tehran further alleged that US actions and what it termed adventurism led to the large-scale blaze in the Fujairah oil zone. However, the UAE rejected these claims and directly accused Iran of conducting the aerial strikes. According to the UAE Ministry of Defense, multiple projectiles, including ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and drones, were launched from Iranian territory.